$160 million. A flying city. Not for citizens, not for businessmen, built for one man only, the president. You don't need a key, you need power. What's inside? A war command center, missile defense systems, a medical bay, an entire government operating above the clouds. Here, radio waves are stronger than on the ground. Orders are given at 40,000 feet. This isn't fiction. This isn't simulation. This is real. From the United States to Russia, from India to Egypt. Each presidential jet is a declaration of security, of pride, and of ultimate power. And today, you're going inside the most expensive, secretive, and powerful presidential aircraft in the world, from America's $660 million flying fortress to Qatar's $500 million gift to Turkey, to the jet Egyptians call a national scandal. Trust me, you'll never look at airplanes the same way again. Air Force One, America's flying fortress. You have just 12 minutes to save the entire US government. If a missile heads straight for the White House, if Washington, D.C. collapses into chaos, if the ground no longer exists, that's why Air Force One was created. This is not just a plane, it's America's replica in the sky. It's the backup plan for doomsday. The second heartbeat when the first one fails. When the president steps on board, the world doesn't just see a leader. The world sees a nation taking flight. Cost to build? Over $660 million. But the truth is, you can't put a price on this, because you're not looking at a Boeing 747. You're looking at a flying fortress, a nuclear war command center at 40,000 feet. Imagine this. A single phone call made from midair could shake the entire world in just 5 minutes, with anti-jamming communication systems, a private military satellite network, counterattack radars, an electromagnetic pulse-proof shell, and the ability to dodge missiles like a fighter jet. Air Force One doesn't need to land for fuel. It gets refueled mid-air, like a floating aircraft carrier. Inside, it's another world. A strategic war room that can mobilize a nation. A medical bay, ready to save the president at any moment. A private suite, soundproofed and encrypted 24/7. Only a few people are allowed on board, and only one man gets to sit in that chair. When the flying fortress cuts through gray clouds, the world knows America still survives. But don't think the US is the only one with such a weapon, because somewhere on another continent, a rising power is making bold moves, and their presidential jet isn't just a symbol, it's a challenge to the old world order. Next up, Air India One. No schematics. Only one warning: if you see it on radar, it's already too late. Coming up, Russia, the nameless flying fortress. Russia, the mystery in the sky. You don't see it. No images, no signal, no explanation. But if one day your radar begins to flicker strangely and a silent aircraft glides across the skies of Eastern Europe, then maybe it's already too late. This is no ordinary presidential jet. It's a first strike, a statement of power, without press conferences, without lights, only deadly silence. While the US and India proudly showcase their interiors, Russia chooses to vanish. No blurry satellite photos, no technical specifications, no flashy promo videos. Just one cold codename, IL-96 300PU, and a chilling feeling, as if darkness itself were flying. Why does this matter? Because real power doesn't ask for applause. It hides, it watches, and it strikes at the right time. The Russian president's aircraft doesn't use Boeing, doesn't pick Airbus. It's built entirely inside Russian borders. A clear message: we don't need Western tech. We have our own weapons, and we know how to keep them hidden. The IL-96 may not dazzle on the outside, but inside is another world. According to Western sources, the aircraft may contain an emergency war room, an armored bedroom, and even a command center for military operations. Every button could launch a strike. Every signal could redraw the map of global power. And if you think that's speculation, you're right, because no one outside the Kremlin can confirm. Its interior is rumored to be gilded in real gold, marble floors, walnut wood, and a military communication system, completely isolated from the outside world. This plane doesn't need to be beautiful. It only needs to be dangerous. Operated by the Special Flight Detachment of the Russian National Guard. No flight attendants, no media lenses, only orders and absolute obedience. The IL-96 has no fan page, no interior price reveal videos, his new global image. On the other, the anger of a nation struggling to survive. This is where power and public sentiment fly in opposite directions. And while Turkey received a $500 million gift elsewhere, Egypt's government chose to purchase theirs. and South Korea counted every penny to invest in the image of a nation. Coming up next, Egypt and South Korea, when one flies for the people and one flies for himself. $300 million to buy a jet while citizens line up for bread. The presidential aircraft of Egypt, the Falcon 7X. 3 engines, 950 kilometers per hour, gold-plated cabin, massage chairs, imported at a time when applause and a spotlight. No need to hide, because for them, luxury isn't just appearance, it's strategy, it's soft power, it's a golden diplomatic manifesto. That private jet, worth over $500 million, weighs nearly 400 tons, as long as a flying castle. It has a royal bedroom, a strategic war room, an airborne hospital, and a defense system that rivals Air Force One. But the real twist isn't in the interiors, it's in the card that came with it. The plane wasn't bought, it was gifted. Gifted by Qatar, an oil-rich emirate, to Turkey, a rising power hungry for greater influence. And the biggest question the world asked wasn't what's inside that plane, but why give it? And more importantly, should they have accepted it? As Turkey's economy reeled from inflation and unrest, a $500 million jet became a national flashpoint. The public erupted, the press exploded. We're cutting electricity, while our leaders fly on golden wings, but others saw it differently. To them, it was a symbol, a message that said, we deserve a seat at the table with the superpowers. This aircraft was no longer just a means of transportation. It became an image weapon, a silent declaration of alliance between two Muslim nations, redefining the world order. And in that moment, every time the wheels of that Boeing 747 touch down, it's not just a leader who emerges, it's a strategy, a new kind of power walking down those steps. And that is what truly makes the world uneasy. Because everything you've just witnessed isn't just about flying machines. It's not just gold or silk or handcrafted leather in a luxury cabin. It's the condensed version of a nation's ambition, where every bolt, every panel, every takeoff carries the fingerprint of power. Some countries choose silence, some choose to shine, some speak in the language of opulence, others use restraint to prove stature. But above all, rises one unavoidable question in the 21st century. How do we want our nation to be remembered? By empty monuments that echo hollow, or by visions strong enough to make the world look again? Because in an age where every days can come from a satellite, a presidential jet is no longer just a ride from point A to B. It's a message, a flying business card, carrying trust, vision, and the burning dreams of an entire people. And at that very moment, when the wheels touch the tarmac, the world won't just look at who's stepping out, they'll be watching. The nation bold